welcome back to the smoke room. It's been a long time since I've done this, but I'm bringing it back. I'm back, and there's no more stopping us. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna dominate it. I got Josh Mccloud here, and we're just gonna talk and have a good time. Introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody?
And tell everybody. I want to start off with your league, WTW. I want you to tell everybody what to expect, and you know what I mean.
Well, WTW is an up and coming league. It's not out yet, but man, I gotta say, all the work that people have put into on it, it's amazing. In the WTW group, we have a few people, but there's only really 3 people who actually put time and effort into it. That'd be me, TC, and Garrett. And I gotta say, we have on the booking doc. You'll see that we have matches booked out all the way to WrestleMania, and these guys have put so much work in it. I honestly find it amazing that I can't thank these guys enough. And I'm really looking forward to it. They're looking forward to it. We've come with some really cool and original and just downright jaw-dropping storylines that we can't wait to release to the public. And soon, and I don't really know when, but in a few weeks' time, we will be releasing episodes, starting off with the first ever, or third, I guess, CPV final verdict. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. A lot of people should get interested in it if they actually watch it, because there's so many different colleagues out there, and there's a lot of bad ones and there's a lot of good ones. It's hard to separate, but if you work hard, the way I feel, if you work hard on your league and you have people who actually helping you and trust them, I feel you can put a good product out there for people to watch. I don't like talking about it too much, because I'm trying to get you a promotion, but back in the day, I used to promote like RCW and stuff like that. RCW was a small league starting out, and it's really getting popular. And that's the only thing you need to do is have good booking and good matches, and not like half-ass matches, like you fight. But like I did, I'm guilty of the same thing, because on my CPV FPW man days, I botched the end. I'm just like, dang, what the fuck? I mean, it's all about effort, and I'm quite interested in what your future plans is for WTW. But what before this, or what was you doing involved in Carl? Was you doing anything else?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
I said, what was you doing before you started playing WTW in Carl?
Well, before WCW, I was actually taking a break from Carl, about a 1.5 year long break where I didn't want to do anything involved with it. Because if you want to hear the full story, then it all started like 2011, late 2011, when I was talking to Poison B, Nathan, the owner of the call, Nate Farron, and I was talking about like this music stuff, about opening a music channel for posting superstar themes, and it was him, or I don't remember who, but someone else. We made this group, and that's the group that a lot of people are using today, sometimes called the Skype clique, and we just invited a lot of people to it. Right now we have people like Ocean Jacks in it, we got Smokey in it, and I think that's how it all started. But for me to get in the call, I think it was Nathan. It was him or someone else wanted me to make a call, so I made the original one, which was called WTWE, which was a complete train wreck. And I also made the worst call that anyone's ever seen, which I don't want to get too deep into this, because this entire story is embarrassing. So.
Man, just go ahead and speak it, man. We got limited time. If you wanted to speak it, because it happens. We have bad moments in call. I ain't shy to say I had a lot of bad moments in call. So just be real about it.
All right. Well, it was like January of 2012 when I first started making episodes of WTWE. And my main call at this time was someone called Dwayne Chambers. And no, it's not a black steroid using Olympic athlete, I promise. Um, but it was used as that because at the time I was a big joke to the Vivian verse, and a lot of people around there they just found it funny. Because I'm not gonna lie, Dwayne Chambers was an awful call. WCWE was an awful league, and I really wish that I hadn't done it. But you can't really take that away now. But we had people like C Carter who was helping commentate it sometimes. TC helped out sometimes. We had two brands on it. We had Beatdown and Nitro. And there was the main problem with that league is that we didn't have a doc for it. We didn't plan out for it. I mean, I don't even think there was a booking group for it. And we just went with the flow, and it went well for like 2 months. Then things started to spiral down after this horrible CPV above the limit.
Yeah.
And there's a time where go on.
I feel you. It's different when you just do that. If you do it, like if you go day to day with it. But I found out that a lot of leagues are starting to do it now, like playing in advance. Playing like you said, you playing all the way to your WrestleMania. So that's always a good thing because you already got plans. But when you go to just whenever I was started doing FTW, I was like, I don't really got no really big plans yet. I just wanted to go day to day with it, and I actually think that FTW would have been better if I wouldn't have went through all the shit I went through when I disappeared. I actually had good plans for it, but time goes by, and I just can't. I just gave up on it. But I did pretty good with FTW, and I think you'll do good with WTW because you got good booking, you got good people behind you, and stuff like that. You got everything planned out, so I respect that.
Yeah, and around this time, people started bringing down my colleague. People started to realize how bad it really was. There was one episode that Evan O'Shea and LaMarcus Carter commentated in, and that was probably the best episode, probably because it was so funny. Because Evan and LaMarcus kept going at it, talking crap about each other, completely ignoring the show. And that was probably the only episode that I liked of WTWE. And eventually, around the third CPV, Hardcore Homecoming, WTWE shut down. It was definitely for the better. And I just want to give up then. I did not want to do anything that had to do with Call. In June or July, I got rid of Dwayne Chambers. I completely wanted to erase Call from my life. The only thing I did for around a year and a half was talk to them on Skype. And then a year later, after I quit, I just stopped coming on Skype in general too, because I was embarrassed because there was a long time too where my voice, you might remember this, Smokey, I had a really high pitched voice. That's because I had I forgot what it was. I don't remember what it was called. It was a throat disease, and it made my throat hurt all the time, and it was hard for me to talk, and made me sound like I was an 8-year-old. And
sometimes shoot, man, those problems are tough, man. I'm having problems right now because this weather down here has been changing. That's usually my voice is so deep right now because of the weather and shit. But you know what? Just move on a little bit. Can you offer any details of who is on the roster and such or that?
On the WTW roster?
Yeah.
Well, all the original calls we have so far for the league are Tyler King, Smokey, James Blazer, this original guy made by someone who we'll find out pretty soon. It's not by me because I'm not really good at making original calls, but we got Gage Grayson, Josh Mccloud, and Nate Farron. So far it's a pretty exciting roster. I'm looking forward to it. And that was just the original calls. And we do plan on adding more. I actually do have people. Yeah, and this is something amazing too. 2 years ago, I was an outcast to call. Now I got people coming up to me and asking me if their calls can be in my league. So.
Yeah, it takes time sometimes, but it's a respect thing. Some people are a little iffy about certain people because there's some shady people out there. Trust me, I deal with a lot of them. I ain't gonna mention it, but it starts with the letter C, the letter C league. I ain't gonna say the other two letters, but they kind of fucked me over a lot. Shady person.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only reason, what reason I decided about why I signed with your league is because once you told me about it and everything else, I ain't have any details about it, but I actually feel that it's the best spot for my call Smokey, and also for I promote DCA because I signed with them too. I'm actually excited about. You know a lot about DCA because your book is booked with them too.
Mhm.
What you think about your bookers? Because they book a lot of other leagues. From what I heard from TC and all of them, they book like a lot of leagues, like 3 or 4 leagues.
Oh yeah, Garrett and TC. These guys are booking so many leagues. I'm surprised that they've been putting so much time into WTW. I think it's amazing how much we've been able to get done. Like I said, we got every CPV mostly booked up until WrestleMania. So we got season 1 CPVs mostly done. We got most of the storylines that we have planned out. We got some pretty interesting storylines based off of stuff that has happened and stuff that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I really like the booking team we got here. Even though it's only the 3 of us, I think it's working just fine. Because this is why I say it's better to have a small booking team that's motivated than have a big booking team that doesn't really care about your product.
Everybody on page. Everybody has to be on page with what's going on. So if everybody has a different opinion, that's whenever drama starts. In my opinion.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We each have our different opinions, and we've each put our different opinions in, and we've been able to create different stuff, And so that way it's more than just one person working on one thing. It's everyone putting their ideas in, and that's how we believe that WTW is going to be a really good product when it's eventually released.
Yeah, and you also got a lot of like you got original calls and you got like WWE calls and stuff like that. Any other different calls you got in your league? Like
We
any
we got some guys from sorry. We got some guys from TNA. There's one guy we're bringing, Tyler Black from Ring of Honor, and Dean Ambrose is coming in, but he's not going to be a member of the Shield. It's going to be him from Ring of Honor too. So yeah, we're bringing in a bit more than just the WWE and calls. We're trying to, mix some of what you expect to see. We also got Sarah Del Rey coming in. So
that's cool. That has a lot of offer when you put it mix in original calls with real life wrestlers. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So people can relate like for instance if I ain't gonna bring my last name in because that sounds kind of selfish. Like Evan O'Shea versus freaking if Evan O'Shea versus Hulk Hogan, and Evan O'Shea gets in his face. Cause I know how Evan is. Evan don't give a fuck. Like I kind of think he's kind of like me in a way because he don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. He probably, I know with him, he'll probably just go up to Hulk Hogan and be like, "You a bitch. You ain't nothing. You ain't wrestling nobody."
Yeah, okay, I'm going to get into a little bit, as long as it's okay with you, Smoke. I'm going to get into a bit about my call, Josh Mccloud.
Go ahead.
I actually thought about Josh Mccloud before I thought of Dwayne Chambers, but and this was long before I joined call. This was like 2007, I made Josh Mccloud. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, I made him. I made him 2008, I made him in 2009, then I just gave up on him. And I think it was that, and in late 2012, someone came up with the name again. I was like, hey, that's what someone said McCloud. I'm like, hang on a second, McCloud, that sounds familiar. And I was like, I made that guy before, and then I made him not exactly, but very similar how he looked before. And he's also based off of some personal experiences that I've seen. Like if you look closely on his entrance, every single time when he gets in the ring, he does that. I'm trying to remember. Okay, no, never mind. I messed up. I'm thinking about something else. My apologies. But I, I like to see Josh Mccloud as a second, as kind of like a figure of myself. I always like to compare personal experiences with him and mine, because I know it's just a video game character, but it's just something cool that I like to do. And Josh Mccloud, he was first made like late 2012, like I said, and that was a period of time where I didn't think I was gonna be doing car at all. I would,
Yeah.
and but one thing I noticed is that something different from when I created Dwayne Chambers. People actually liked this guy. They didn't say he looked stupid. And
I remember him being in a couple of leagues. Probably like a little over a year ago. I can't remember what league it was. I want to remember it, but I can't. It's been so long since all that shit happened. I remember you being in it. You had an awesome ass guitar.
I remember November 2012. I was in the main chat talking to people, and Evan O'Shea wanted me to be in his league EDF.
Yeah.
And in January, that was when Mccloud won his first title, the EDF Showtime title. And it was that moment where I decided to keep Mccloud, but it wasn't until just recently I decided to reopen or just keep on doing call as an actual league, because it was in December or something when I decided to put my foot down and say, you know what, I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to give up, because I don't have a reason to, and I think that I can actually do it this time. And you know what? That actually worked, because I was given a reason. I went for it. I got a good booking team, and like I said, I put my foot down. And I mean, look, I got people that are actually complimenting on my league, and it's not even out yet. And I think that's just something amazing. That 2 years ago, I never would have thought people would have expected this much out of me.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, it's always been the same. Is it if people are gonna like me or people are gonna be hating on me? It's all the same. But you know what? I accept it now. More than I did back then, because if you're familiar with my past, I have an explosive attitude. When people try to test me, I got an explosive attitude, but I calm down a lot more now.
Yeah.
I try to be anyway, because I felt like everything I've done in the past. I don't regret nothing I did in the past, because I was speaking real. And some people think I'm this accent, and like Smokey, I call him. And that's entirely off of me. That's me completely. Because I've been called Smokey since I was 8 years old, and people think I'm fake because I say what I say. And if I say, if somebody comes up to me and say I'm a bitch, what would I do in reality? I'll punch him in the face. But back to you. What do you expect for your call? You think you can build off the cloud and get him in more leagues, or are you just happy with just being in only a couple of leagues?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see Mccloud succeed, but it's not like I expect him to become WEDF champion or something. No. But I would like to see Mccloud do something very important, like a highlight of his career, because I don't want a highlight of his career to be EDF Showtime champion. I want to see Mccloud do something. I want to see Mccloud go far, but I'm not expecting too much, because I know that if I expect too much, I'm going to get shot down, and 2012 was a good example of that.
Yeah, but you got to keep going, and no matter what, people is going to be criticizing everything else. All you got to do though is just build off of it. I learned over the years you got to build off the hate, because people, regardless of how good you are and everything else, there's always going to be somebody out there trying to put you down, and you just got to keep going. You can't quit. Like for instance, I just came back for a long absence, and I used to be one of the most known original callers out there. I was one of the first in WDF, and and some people forget about it. So I decided, fuck that. I'm coming back, and I'm coming back strong, and I don't give a fuck what people think. That's what I think. That's what I think most real callers should do. If they got something on their mind and they got a certain attitude, they should act that way and call. Because I feel, as I said, if somebody came up to me whining and everything else, and threatening me and everything else, what do you expect me to do?
Yeah, that's one thing you and me, Smokey, have really in common, and our callers have in common. If someone walks up to us and says, "Hey, you a bitch," we're gonna knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, ain't no sense in talking, man. For real, there ain't no sense in talking. If you're gonna threaten me, you might as well try something. And if you don't, I'm just gonna do it myself because I, as I said, people think there's a lot of fake ass people in there. Let's just be honest with you. Let's be honest with you, smoke room, man. There's a lot of fake ass people out there. I ain't gonna name them names, but there's a lot of real people, right? Like OJ, even TC, everybody, Carter, everybody. I got a lot of respect for a lot of people. H.A. Duke and all the other people. I got a lot of respect for you because it's my first time talking to you, and I'm finding what you're talking about quite interesting. Let's move on a little bit on real wrestling. Regardless of the federation, who is your favorite wrestler that inspires you?
My favorite wrestler of all time, the guy who inspires most would have to be Shawn Michaels. Because I've been watching him ever since I was a little kid. And I remember watching that WrestleMania 10 ladder match between him and Razor Ramon. And I was like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing ever. Because Shawn Michaels is the guy that really inspires me. Because, he never gives up. Whenever you knock him down, he always gets back up and he pushes you back on the ground too. So
the one markout moment I saw in Shawn Michaels later in his career was Kobe Kingston trying to springboard off the ropes and he ended up getting super kicked midair. And like, ah. That wasn't too long ago. That was like a couple years ago before all that Undertaker stuff.
Yeah, no, it was like I remember also watching the WrestleMania 26 match between him and the Undertaker, and I remember watching that last wave to the crowd, and I was like, that's how I want to go out one day. I don't care what I'm in. I want to go out like that. I want to go out knowing as, oh man, I did something cool. And I know this is just a video game company, but still, I think it's really cool that people can do stuff like this. You can.
I hate how people just put it like that. It's just a video game. This is for fun. We don't just do this. This is called wrestling. We do this for fun. This ain't no joke. We everybody works hard on it.
Yeah, I mean, we got leagues like WEDF and what WG used to have. And those people, they worked hard on it, okay? You don't want to walk up to them and say, oh, look at you, you're a nerd, you're just playing video games. No, that's not how it works, actually, because we got people who are taking the time to create their own original characters, and I think that's pretty cool how you can just make your own character and have them wrestle in different companies. And they make their own guys. They make their own companies. They build their companies from the ground. Like I said, WEDF, New WWE, IWT, they built their companies from the ground, and they built it to the top of the food chain here in Call.
Not to mention, I hate not to mention it because I was in it for a long time. It was in a long past. I think he's retired now. But H.A. Duke, RCW, and he also ran HCW, and Daniel Barber ran OFW. I worked with both of them. And basically the beginning of my career. And we all joked around, but they always gave me respect no matter what. No matter what drama I was going through, they always would stay there. They trusted me and everything else. Because a lot of people wanted me out of college for a long time, especially back then. But you gotta go past that junk, and you gotta say fuck that, fuck you. I'm doing what I'm gonna do. You ain't gonna get rid of me or anybody else, so just go do what you do and let me do what I do. That's real. And
yeah.
I bet you feel the same way because you try to get noticed and everything else, but I don't really care too much about getting noticed because I already been noticed, but it's good to be out there. I just want to be out there, because I've been absent for a while. That's weird for me. because I've always been around, and it actually pretty exciting. That's what makes me excited about WTW because there is something I don't know what's going on. I don't really like being told details unless I'm doing a promo or something like that, like you told me yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really want to know, so I can know what I need to talk about or whatever. But I, as we said, we just like I respect every league out there that actually does good work and not crappy work. Like like that video I did about a week ago about that one league. What is it? SPW or whatever.
Yeah.
They have people do self promos, video promos or whatever. Everybody laying down. This one fat dude laying down in the bed talking shit like I'm gonna beat your ass. Like they got something on the ass, man. Why can't you just be real and talk? If you want to talk, it would be like, you know, Josh Mccloud, you a motherfucking, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. Let's get in the ring right now. You see, that's intensity.
Yeah.
You know.
And I got people that I used to know that that always said that I would never do good in call. I would never make a good colleague. And those are people. I'm not gonna say the name, but those are people that got in your face too, Smokey. But there's only one thing I gotta say now. I told you so.
I'm gonna say what Tupac says. You can't see me. Because Tupac's version of that kills Sin's version. I should have mentioned that because I've been listening to that all day.
Well, yeah, I mean you got two people. You got someone who goes around acting like a thug and he thinks that he's all that, and then you got Tupac.
I don't think I'm a thug. I'm just real.
Yeah. I was about to talk about him and John Cena.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tupac really wasn't a thug. He was actually trying to send a message.
Yeah, send a message. That's something that I listen to. Yeah, I listen to rap music a lot too, and I think that's more what it's about instead of trying to be a thug.
Yeah, he was more trying to tell everybody about all the corruption. And he got a new CD coming out this year, for Christ's sake. This is how written the Smoke Room is. We talk about anything. Tupac, call. If y'all don't like it, turn it off. Smoke Room is never. We go random about it. But yeah, okay. Let's get back to you. What kind of leagues do you watch, and what leagues do you think need work? Be honest with me.
I'm sorry.
What leagues do you like? And what leagues do you think need work? A little bit work, and that'd be good.
Leagues that I like. Well, I do watch some colleges. I don't watch that many, but I do watch quite a few. Let's see. I watch stuff like WEDF sometimes, a good bit. When Evan was doing EDF, I watched that. I watched IWT. You can tell because all those leagues have something in common and they're different from the other leagues. I like leagues that are not dark but have a good feel in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leagues that need work. Well, to be honest, every league has its flaws. You know, so I don't think that there's one league that needs one thing more than the other because I mean everyone has their flaws, but you know what? If we might see something as a flaw, but to them it could be an improvement. You know, you never know. I might have my opinion, but some other person might have their opinion. Then this guy all the way over in Alaska says, no, it has to be this way. Like it's different for every person you see. I mean, it's different for every person you see because there's a whole lot of people that take different things in a different way, you know? Smokey? Smokey. Can you hear me? Okay, well, okay, looks like Smokey's taking a piss break. Welcome to the smoke room with Josh Mccloud.